give me the 10 minutes of your attention, and I'll be telling how to overcome your fear or anything, any kind of mental ceiling in your mind, okay? Let's get it. And today I will be talking about heartbreak and any kind of thing which is associated with sadness and anything like this. So, oh, it's not working. Well, so let me explain. Heartbreak is not a kind of emotional thing. It's actually a neurological. And that's why today I will be explaining how to, let's say, escaping the mental ceiling. Let me just explain how to overcome your mental ceiling, okay? So it was not. So the moment that I have already had, so this is actually the experience that I have already had. So when I just woke up after the heartbreak, everything felt empty. Let's say everything felt empty, everything looked normal, nothing looked normal, nothing felt normal actually. So no kind of messages, no kind of calls and anything like this. So of course it can make us kind of feeling not that much good. And that's why some people think that heartbreak is a kind of, let's say, sadness or something. But it's not a sadness, but it's not a kind of sad thing. It is actually a heartbreak. It's actually a dopamine crush. Well, most people say that heartbreak is sadness, but the truth is heartbreak is a dopamine crush, as I have already mentioned there. And that's why it feels uncontrollable. That's why we cannot control our emotions, our feelings at that moment while we're just in this process, okay? Well, so let me just explain the pattern itself. What kind of pattern we had while we were just having our heartbreak. So the very first step, like dopamine is actually a kind of reward. Not a kind of happiness, not a long-term happiness. It is a kind of motivation, little motivation. Well, while you were just getting your text, let's say, while you were just texting with your lovely ones, it is actually an excitement. And the call means a kind of relief. And at the same time, the routine, so routine means safety. What kind of routine is this? So, of course, you have already made a habit of making this pattern, and that's why it's safety. Well, and in this way, love becomes a habit. So you can actually not replace your habit. Let's say you can actually not escape your habit, but you can actually replace your habit, okay? Well, when you lose someone you love, you don't lose a kind of person himself or herself, but also you can just lose the pattern, lose the habit loop in your brain. So, of course, you gotta replace it. And I'm not talking about you gotta replace with another one that you love. So you gotta replace the habit itself with another good habit or skill and something. Well, withdrawal. So after this kind of experience, of course, we can just lose our focus. So probably we will be kind of less focused in some kind of thing. Let's say lack of energy or any kind of sadness or anything. And that's why, so you crave every moment you have already spent. So you gotta make it, you gotta try to do your best to come back or do something. But it's actually useless. Let me just tell you the useful thing. So craving is not a kind of thing which is weakness. It's not your weakness. Let's say it is the process, okay? Well, and at the same time, you're not only just trying to be, let's say, trying to do your best to overcome your feelings or pain or anything, but at the same time, you gotta overcome the pressure, shame, and the fear, which is called what people think, what people say, what people in something like this. So, and let me just tell you about the turning point. So the turning point is that the recovery is not the time. So the people always continue to say that, oh, time can heal, but without any action, without anything, of course, you cannot heal. You cannot be healed from yourself. You gotta rewire your brain. You gotta replace your habits. You gotta replace, let's say, you gotta shift your mindset, basically. Well, and I'll be giving 3 different types of steps that you gotta overcome it. Well, very first step, break triggers. Stop thinking about the past. Stop reopening the wound. Stop thinking about what people think, what people say, what people can talk about, and anything. Just let it happen, let them go, let them talk. So the step 2, replace routines. As I have already mentioned, you cannot quit your habits, but you can easily replace them. Okay? Instead of thinking about some kind of memories, or instead of thinking about the past, of course, you gotta think, and let's say you gotta build a kind of new skill, which is gonna be really helpful for you in the long term. Well, the last one is rebuild identity. Of course, as I have already mentioned, you gotta shift your mindset. So you gotta shift your mindset, you gotta create the new version of yourself. So as I have already mentioned, just let it happen, let them go, and let them talk. And of course, at the same time, you gotta create new version of yourself. And at the end of my speech, I gotta tell you one of the most important thing, just protect your peace, okay? Thank you so much.